I'd like to film this outside, but the planes flying over from this nearby little airport are just incredibly noisy. We'll probably even hear them now. But in any event, let's continue. And I want to talk about day hiking, maybe some preparation to your hike. Also, what I carry in my backpack for a day hike when I'm planning on spending the entire day out in the field exploring the trails. The first thing you have to do, I believe, is to let somebody know where you're going. A flight plan. Someone that you can depend on, that you will contact when you complete your hike and get back within cell phone coverage, that you can report into, that knows you're back safe. Yes, a lot of the trailheads in the national forest or the wilderness areas have sign-in books. And I volunteer at the Superstitions a few days a week, and I've talked to many people. When I ask them if they've filed their flight plan, their hike plan, they say, no, we're signing in here at the book, and you can see here that we've signed in, and I see here where we're supposed to sign out, and if we're not out, then we assume someone will come looking for us. Well, no, not much of a chance of that. First of all, the books or even the individual cards that you may fill out are not checked on any regular basis for the most part. And unfortunately, a lot of people, when they do come out, when they do complete their hike, they don't fill out the time that they've come back out anyway. So it's essential to file your hiking plan with a trusted friend and stick to it. Also, the items that I recommend we carry may or may not be in my pack, probably in my pocket, but you need to have a map of the trail system you're going in. That will give you a pretty good idea where you're at if you do get turned around. The other thing I highly recommend you use is a compass. And if you don't know how to use a compass, I'm sure you can find all sorts of different tutorials on YouTube on how to use a compass. I'm not going to go into that in any detail. But not only is it important, but I think it's sort of fun to maybe sight your path with the compass and just use it, just to be doing it. I think it's a good thing to have. Now, one other thing that is, I believe, absolutely essential for seniors is trekking poles, my hiking sticks. Whatever you want to find them or buy, whatever kind, just have them. They're obviously useful for anybody going up and down hills, but as we get older, I find I'm not quite as steady on my feet as I probably once was. Actually, I never was much of a dancer. But anyway, I know I'm not as steady on my feet as I used to be, and I know my poles saved my butt from a fall or a slip probably every single time I go out. So I do believe you really should be using these. A lot of the younger folks use them too. I use them. I like to multi-purpose my gear. Often I'll use them in lieu of a tent pole if I'm using the type of tent that they will work with. So find some of these, use them. There's, again, a lot of videos on different types and everything else. I prefer another set I have that has cork handles, but whatever you're comfortable with, have them. They're for your safety. So, with all that said, I have here my day pack. It's pretty lightweight. This happens to be an REI Trail 25. So it's a 25-liter pack. I think this is a good size. As you see, heck, it's not even full. I do not have the water bottles here. I do not have my food in here. But this, as it is like this, with everything I'm going to show you, weighs in right around 5 pounds. So it's very, very simple. Very light, I should say. This particular pack has some very nice panels on the side pouches, that I usually have at least 2 liters of water in the desert. Now, if I'm back in Montana in the summertime, I might just carry whatever I want to sip out of. But this is for my water stash. And then in the front of this pack, I use a clip that clips onto most all water bottles. I like to have have it handy in front of me. Also, you'll see on the other strap is a little pouch. I reviewed this pouch earlier. I use it for my camera, maybe a snack or something like that, something I want to get to very quickly. Okay, now this particular pack has a top pouch, and these are items that I would want to get to easily, maybe quickly. First, toilet paper. Secondly, I have a very small first aid kit. This has all various size Band-Aids, some antiseptic, ibuprofen, some tape, and I think I weighed this in at a couple of ounces. It's just for my day hike. It'll cover pretty much anything minor that I'm likely to run into. Also in here, and for the hiking where I'm at in the desert, extremely important is tweezers, and the tweezers are in here as well. So I think that they're great to have along. If you ever get a cactus in you and you can't get it out, you'll be really, really happy to have that. On my drinking poles, I always carry a wrap or two of duct tape, and sometimes that'll help pull out some of the smaller stickers. A knife. This is just a small folding knife on a lanyard that I can see, so if I drop it or lay it around camp, I'll at least be able to find it when it's time to go. I like to use it more than anything else. I think I slice cheese with it when I bring that for my lunch. All right, let's get inside. In no particular order. First, this is a Southwestern Desert Life Guide. You know, remember the 4 principles when my first video talked about backpacking for seniors. One is to go slow. One is to go light. Be comfortable. And try to be economical. Well, this helps you go slow. This particular guide, and there are many of these available, this particular one is for the desert Southwest, so it talks about the animals, the plants, the lizards, all those kind of little critters that I'm trying to learn more about, particularly the plants. So I like to take my time and explore the trail as I'm hiking to make it an educational hike. So anyway, I think that's a pretty good idea to bring something like that. I always have either a buff or this is a synthetic towel. All sorts of reasons to have that. This is my ditty bag. This ditty bag contains my headlight, a toothbrush, more ibuprofen. The things, this goes with me on every hike. I just take this bag, it goes in whatever pack I'm using, and usually when I get my tent set up or shelter up, this goes in there too, because these are the items I like to use or have handy at night. Small ditty bag. This is a sit pad to sit on, to keep yourself comfortable, if you can. It's part of the comfort items. It's not very heavy. I usually even bring this on a longer hike. This one happens to be 12 by 18. It's an inflatable one. Again, it's REI. There's all sorts of kinds that the Z-type that are not inflatable might even be more appropriate for the desert environment. But I like to have a sit pad. I'd like to be able to relax at lunchtime or take a break or read my book when I'm trying to figure out what kind of a cactus I'm looking at. Just something to relax with. And along that line, I have a small tarp. This is just a piece of a bigger tarp that I've cut down. As I recall, it's about 5 by 6. It's handy to have if you're throwing it on wet ground, which is not likely in the desert, but rocks, gravel, whatever. I throw this down, then I can use my sit pad on top of it. It's handy to have, and it is also tied in with this item, a survival item. I'm certainly not planning on spending the night. I would pack differently, but in case I am, I do have one of these survival blankets. Everybody's seen these things for, I don't know, 88 cents probably at Walmart. They're one-time use because you'll never fold it up again to fit. But I believe with this and that tarp that I had, with my sit pad, that I could, well, I don't know how much I would enjoy it, but I could at least make a shelter if I had to spend the night. So it's just sort of reassuring to know that I've got those kind of things if I do spend the night. And then finally, particularly in the winter, even in the winter in the desert, this is my puffy coat. With this puffy coat on and the sit pad, the tarp, the emergency blanket, space blanket, I might even try it. I think it would be fine. So those are pretty much all the items I carry. I do have in here also, I didn't mention, a lighter in my giddy bag. I carry a supply, an extra lighter, also some matches, and also some fire starters that I've made. And with all that, I feel pretty good about the hike. I hope this has given you some ideas about what you might want to take with you on your hike, on a day hike. And if you have any suggestions or comments, please put them down here below in the comment section. I'd love to hear what you're saying. You might have some other ideas that I could incorporate into my bag. So let me know. And if you have enjoyed this, I would really appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel. But beyond everything else, keep hiking.